Welcome, Bitcoin fam, to the One Daily Bitcoin Pod, and congratulations, we recaptured the coveted 100,000 milestone today. In fact, we're currently at 101.5, up over $5,200 on the day. Make some noise for that. In today's show, we'll be discussing the Missouri bill ending capital gains tax ahead of the governor for signature. Literally this close, as well as big news coming out of the Texas House Committee passing a Bitcoin Reserve bill for the full floor vote. And speaking of state adoption, Arizona governor signs law for the state to keep unclaimed crypto. That's right. Also, U.S. banks can handle customer crypto assets held in custody according to the regulator. It's official. It's confirmed. This is also a massive bullish news, as well as Bitcoin price will soar to 500,000 per coin in a jiffy. This is according to Your Holiness, the one and only Max Keiser. We'll also be taking a look at the overall crypto market. All this, plus so much more in today's show. Welcome again, fam. We're going to do a big, massive gong strike in celebration of recapturing 100,000 for the first time again since January. It's literally been that long. So congratulations. This gong strike is for all the bitty baddies and the bitty broskies for holding it down. Congrats. And let's send this mofo to 1.1 million where it belongs. If you're new to the YouTube channel, important to smash the likes, go ahead, subscribe, then ring the bell. Turn on all notifications to receive daily premium crypto news alerts every single day, 7 days a week, just like this. Today is pod episode 1986. I'm your host, JV. It's May 8th, 2025. Bitcoin up over 5,000 on the day. Finally recaptured 100,000 for the first time since January. In fact, we're on the cusp of reclaiming 102,000, taking us within striking distance from all-time high. Things are getting pretty lit. So let's kick it off with our market watch as we do each and every day. As you can see here, let me see here. You should be able to see on your screen here shortly. There you have it. Bitcoin up 5.4% on the day, trading above 1,015 at the time of the live stream. Even Ethereum up 18% on the day, trading back above 2,100. It seems like we were 1,400 the other day. XRP up 7%. The entire market lit like a Christmas tree. Game on. And checking out coinmarketcap.com. The current crypto market cap back on a rise. 3.17 trillion, soaring up 7% on the day. The Bitcoin market cap back above 2 trillion. That's a great sign, a good omen as well. We have 138 billion worth of volume for the past 24 hours, with Bitcoin dominance coming in today at a staggering 63.6%. Ether dominance finally made a move up. It's been a hot minute. Currently 8.1%. Checking out top 100. Crypto gainers past 24 hours. We got Virtual up 42%, Brett up 42%, and Pudgy Penguins up 29%. Which alts, if any, are you bullish on for the bull? Holla at your boy. And checking out the crypto bubbles, we'll get a visual perspective on the day. And we love days like this. It's like 98% of the market in the green. I only see two losers, XAUT and FORM. So virtually everything pumping. Zooming out for the week, I'd give it, I'd say 80-20, green over red. Pretty impressive gainers across the board. And for the monthly, virtually every single thing, I should say minus two little things I see in the red. So almost everything's up. And some of those meme coins are up hundreds of percent. And checking out the Crypto Greed and Fear Index today, we're 65. Greed yesterday at 67. Last week at 53. And last month at 24. And extreme fear. And checking out the infamous time chain calendar. We're currently on block height 895,853. And we have 154,147 blocks into the next halving. Now check this. As of today, you can only get 987 sats per dollar. So you know what to do. Stack the sats, put down the gats, and pick up some Bitcoin caps from my man Sergio over at bitcoincaps.net. Get yourself a custom CNA exclusive, just like this. Do a little bit of TA, aka astrology for the baddies, after the infamous freeze frame, of course. Headline here reads, Bitcoin price reclaims 100,000 for the first time since January. That's right. Bitcoin reclaimed 100,000 this morning for the first time since January, reflecting renewed bullish sentiment amongst investors. It was earlier this morning, and in fact, we're very close to 102,000 at the time of the live stream. It marked the third time Bitcoin's broken through the six-figure level since first achieving it on December 5th of last year. A second all-time high followed January 20th, which is the current all-time high on inauguration day, which is 109.3. So we're in striking distance away from re-entering price discovery. And unlike the previous 100,000 hits, the new price spike came as Bitcoin market dominance surged above 60%, reflecting potential bearish sentiment for the altcoins. Meanwhile, Bitcoin dominance, the asset share of the total crypto market, has been steadily rising over the past year. Happy 420 for the broskies. We just hit 420 here in Puerto Rico. During its first run to 100,000 in December of 2024, a Bitcoin dominance stood at 52%, and by January of 2025, it hit 54%, and now we're like at 63%, according to Coin Market Cap. I think we're likely to hit 70% this cycle. You guys let me know your thoughts on that. The latest spike into Bitcoin dominance matches historic levels last seen in early 2021. Deja vu, fam, when Bitcoin was trading around 36,000 and heading to the previous all-time high of 60 Gs. Quoting an analyst here, Bitcoin has been showing strength for weeks now, outstripping other digital tokens and scarcely flinching against the sort of geopolitical events in Asia and the Middle East as they have impacted it in the past. With gold also running good all year, there's now a case for saying that Bitcoin may have proven itself as an economic hedge and a long-term store of value. I think it's already proven itself. Facts. Bitcoin's latest 100,000 breakthrough came amid a combination of political, institutional, and macroeconomic factors. Some in the community linked the Bitcoin latest bullish action to the potential trade deal. Again, Trump was speaking this morning regarding a trade deal between them and the UK, and we were pumping the entire time he was speaking. Quoting an analyst here, Bitcoin's hovering above 100, a key psychological level for the traders after Trump hinted at a major trade deal, likely with the UK. The analyst also said the rally is supported by falling bond yields, a weakening dollar, as well as renewed institutional inflows into the Bitcoin ETFs. We saw 1.8 billion of inflows in the past trading week. Meanwhile, the crypto greed and fear index current score is a 65, as I outlined for you earlier. And while momentum is strong, upcoming U.S. budget data on May 12th, the CPI, Consumer Price Index, on May 13th will be key in determining if Bitcoin can break and hold above the level. For the rally to sustain, the trade deal narrative will need to evolve into concrete progress. And some analysts calling for 110 sooner than later, and I couldn't agree more. I think this may be the big week. But you guys, let me know your thoughts, and I'm going to pull up some of the live charts as they're looking extremely lit right now. So let's pull these mofos up. You should be able to see live it on your screen via TradingView, via Coinbase. This is the 1 hour chart. Notice a mega green candle formed this morning, and we have been steady but slowly rising to where we're currently at. It's a good sign. Currently above 1014 at the time of the live stream. And yes, this is live and in the flesh, live chart action. Jackson for the broski satisfaction. And can't forget about the baddies. And zooming out for the 4 hour. The 4 hour, you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 consecutive green candles. So we've been pumping since yesterday, hence why we started a pump wash to 100,000. And zooming out from there, we'll take a look at a 1 day. We should see some big bull candles for the day forming. Yep. Massive, even bigger than yesterday's, and the day's still young. Happy 420 again in advance. We also have a daily target in the red, sitting at just shy of 112,000, which would take us back to price discovery. Again, the current all-time high is 109.3, which was achieved all the way back on January 20th for the Trump inauguration day. We also have a bear scenario, which can play out, but I feel very unlikely, which is just shy of 69 Gs, which was the previous cycle all-time high. Bitcoin first achieved that level all the way back on November 10th of 2021. It feels like yesterday. Feels like deja vu for the Bitcoin crew. Just saying. And zooming out from the daily, we take a look at the weekly, and the weekly says, JV, it's going up forever, Laura. Yeah, that's right. We have a cup and handle sexy target on the weekly, sitting at 124 Gs, baby. We also have 1 2, 3, 4, 5 green consecutive candles on the weekly chart. So it's been hella bullish for the past month or so since really we hit Q2 of 2025. Q1 was corrective after achieving the all-time high on January 20th, but we're so back looking to recapture again, striking distance away. And checking out the monthly, last month was a bullish monthly close, which is very good. We got the bullish momentum back, and this month of May, even though we're only 8 days in, has not been disappointing as we're looking to recapture all-time here any moment. Missouri bill ending capital gains tax heads to the governor for a signature. Now imagine this happened and it got passed in Missouri, and then like a domino effect, all the other states slowly but surely, no capital gains tax on Bitcoin, no capital gains tax, no capital gains tax, no capital gains tax. I think this would be like every Bitcoiner's dream. Correct me if I'm wrong, broskies. But reading it here, Missouri House Bill 594, a bill that would eliminate capital gains tax in the U.S. state. I dig it. Has passed the vote in the House of Representatives and is now heading to the Missouri Governor Mike Kehoe's desk for his signature. And according to the attorney Aaron Brogan, the bill stipulates a 100% income tax deduction for any capital gains income because the Missouri tax code does not explicitly distinguish between capital gains and income tax. Game on. And here's a copy and a draft of the actual bill. Brogan shared that the specific mechanism to exempt capital gains tax outlined in HB 594 is unique and compared it to a similar income tax deduction in the federal tax code, quoting the attorney. The most natural comparison is the state and local tax, SALT deduction, that the federal government offers, where the IRC, I guess Internal Revenue Code, permits individuals to deduct a certain amount of tax paid in a state and local taxes. This is the inverse, which I have never seen before. The bill's timing is very significant in that it follows proposals from the U.S. President Trump to overhaul the country's income tax system through comprehensive reform. Trump has proposed offsetting federal income taxes or eliminating the income tax, game on, and replacing the federal tax revenue with money raised through import tariffs. Yes, please. And when tariffs cut in, many people's income taxes will be substantially reduced, maybe even completely eliminated. The focus will be on people making less than $200,000 per year, as per the president's own post on Truth Social, which he shared on April 27th. Trump added, the plan will create more jobs in the U.S. factories, return to avoid import duties on their finished products. Despite this, the market reaction on the tariffs has been overwhelmingly negative, with the stock market recording trillions of dollars in losses in response to the tariff headlines, the crypto market shedding hundreds of billions in value up until today. We just got a mega surge back in the markets as per what's happening. But nonetheless, there you have it. Do you think that Missouri bill will pass for zero capital gains tax? Yay or nay? And as you know, or you may not know, here in Puerto Rico, many consider this the crypto mecca of the United States because under Act 60, if you qualify, zero capital gains tax. That includes all passive investments, including crypto gains, dividends, etc. Yeah, I mean, so hence a lot of people come here from the United States. Bitcoins are ripping like a new Scottie Pippen. Next story of the day, and again, next couple of stories, we'll be discussing more state adoption. Shout out to the Nippinator, your former chairman of the SEC. Headline reads, Texas House Committee passes Bitcoin Reserve bill for the full floor to vote. That's right. Texas House Committee passed the Republican-backed bill to create a Bitcoin Reserve, which now only needs a successful full floor vote before heading to the governor's desk. The Texas House Committee on Delivery of Government Efficiency passed Senate Bill 21. Tell me that's not the perfect Bitcoin bill number. With no amendments on May 7th and a 9-4 vote along party lines, the bill has already passed the Texas Senate in a 25-5 vote. March 6th, SB 21 would establish the Texas Strategic Bitcoin Reserve, controlled by the state's comptroller, currently Glenn Hagar, who would be permitted to invest in digital assets that have been obtained with a market cap of at least $500 billion over the last 12 months. And obviously, Bitcoin is the only crypto that would qualify, with its market cap being above 500 billion and currently above really 2 trillion. You can see Pierre Rochard's post here. The Texas House Committee approved SB 21. The next steps, a Texas House vote by all members and the governor's signature. It looks likely Texas will have a strategic Bitcoin reserve. The big open question is how much Bitcoin will be acquired. Game on. However, the bill was refiled to include potential inclusion of other digital assets in February. Bitcoin Law's founder, Julian Farrer, said that the fate of SB 21 should be determined before June 2nd. That's right around the corner, when the Texas legislature adjourns. If the bill sees a successful full floor vote, it would head to the Governor Greg Abbott's desk. Abbott expressed his desire to make Texas the crypto capital of the U.S. in November and accepted Bitcoin donations as part of his campaign in 2014. Well, if the United States is going to become the crypto capital, we need to have zero capital gains tax for starters. Don't you guys agree? Let me know. But anyways, the Texas vote comes the same day as Arizona Governor Katie Hobbs signed a bill into law that allowed the state to keep unclaimed crypto after she just recently vetoed the original bill, and to establish a Bitcoin and digital asset reserve fund that won't use taxpayer or state funds. The state can also stake abandoned crypto or earn rewards or receive airdrops, which can then be deposited into the crypto fund. New Hampshire Governor Kelly Ayotte also signed House Bill 302, which was the big news yesterday, into law, which is the first state to adopt Bitcoin as a strategic reserve asset. So history has already been made. Domino effects fall in. The next state, it's just going to be like dominoes, in my opinion. So now the state's treasury can use funds to invest in cryptos with a market cap of more than 500 billion, aka only Bitcoin. Florida, however, unfortunately, removed 2 Bitcoin reserve bills on May 3rd. Not a good look, Mr. DeSantis. A day when the lawmakers passed 230 bills ranging from prohibiting putting fluoride in water. That's an important one, I'll give you that. Protecting state parks. Who cares about Disney? It's too woke. And banning smartphone use in schools. I don't know how I feel about that. You guys let me know your thoughts, and I'll read your comments out loud, and I'll share the latest regarding Arizona governor signing a law for the state to keep unclaimed crypto as another one bites the dust. And another one down, and another one bites the dust. Let's discuss the next story regarding Arizona, and then we'll discuss the new banking law, as well as 500,000 prediction from Your Holiness, the High Priest Max Keiser, and we'll do a little live Q&A, and we'll flip this mofo into a pump watch, and of course premiere some brand new music videos never shared before on the stream. So yeah, next story here reads, Arizona governor signs law for the state to keep their unclaimed cryptocurrency. That's right. Arizona Governor Katie Hobbs signed a bill into law allowing the U.S. state to keep unclaimed crypto to establish the Bitcoin Reserve Fund that won't use any taxpayer money or state funds. Hobbs signed the House Bill 2749 into law May 7th, and I'm curious if she did that after the feedback after everyone started bashing her for vetoing the initial bill. Makes you wonder, but I'm glad she did the right thing. And as of May 7th, which is yesterday, it allows Arizona to claim ownership of the abandoned digital assets if the owner fails to respond to communications within 3 years. The state custodians can stake the crypto to earn rewards or receive airdrops, which can be deposited into what Arizona has called a Bitcoin and digital asset reserve fund. Quoting them here, Jeff Wenger, the guy here. This law ensures Arizona doesn't leave value sitting on the table and puts us in a position to lead the country in how we secure, manage, and ultimately benefit from abandoned digital currency. And here's an outline of the bill. Pretty big news. Quoting it again, we have built a structure that protects property rights, respects ownership, and gives the state tools to account for a new category of value in the economy. And on May 3rd, Hobbs vetoed a similar Bitcoin reserve bill, Senate Bill 1025, which would have allowed the state to invest these funds into Bitcoin, citing concerns over using public funds or untested assets. Meanwhile, Bitcoin Law's founder, Julian Farrer, said that Hobbs signing the HB 2749 offers more hope that she may also sign the Senate Bill 1373, which is currently sitting on Katie Hobbs' desk. SB 1373 would authorize Arizona's treasurer, currently Kim Kimberly Yee to allocate up to 10% of the Arizona Budget Stabilization Fund into the free little bitty going out forever Laura. The bill's passage into Arizona follows New Hampshire Governor Kelly Ayotte, which we previously shared on May 6th, signing the massive bill, House Bill 302, into law, allowing her state's treasury to use funds to invest in cryptos, only Bitcoin at this time because it has a market cap of more than 500 billion, currently just above 2 trillion. And if you don't know now, you know, state adoption is coming. Nation state adoption is coming. Who's a stacking? Shout out Sweet Bitty McGee. Greatly appreciate the super. That helps out a lot, especially with the algorithm as well. She put, we got that Bitcoin swag. Much love, fam. This gong strikes for you as well as all of you here with your Bitcoin swag. Let's get it. Next big story is the U.S. banks. This is major. And then we'll discuss the latest from Your Holiness, Max Keiser, as we continue to pump towards new all-time highs. U.S. banks can handle customer crypto assets held in custody. It is official, according to the regulators. They have officially confirmed. The U.S. Office of the Comptroller of the Currency has confirmed banks under its jurisdiction can trade crypto on behalf of customers and outsource some crypto activities to third parties. That's right. Acting Comptroller Rodney Hood said in a May 7th letter that the banks and the Federal Savings Associations can buy and sell crypto they hold in custody at customers' direction. The OCC added in a press release that the financial institutions can also outsource bank permissible crypto activities, including custody and executive or execution services to third parties in compliance with applicable law, quoting them here. Additionally, these banks may provide other custody services. So we all know Bitcoin's pristine collateral. Well, now the banks have the official nod from the regulators to start holding it. What can we anticipate as a result? Bitcoin-backed loans and many Bitcoin products being introduced to a bank near you. Bring it. The OCC banks may use a sub-custodian to provide the same services subject to appropriate third-party risk management practices, while a range of crypto and digital asset activities may be performed by banks and their third parties. Previously, the OCC eased its stance on how banks can engage with crypto on March 7th by giving the green light for crypto asset custody, some stablecoin activities, and participation in independent node verification networks such as distributed ledgers. Quoting them here, more than 50 million Americans hold some form of cryptocurrency. Now, how many Americans are there? I'd say maybe there's 300 million or so. So that's a pretty good substantial amount. The OCC is an independent bureau within the U.S. Department of Treasury, which regulates and supervises all national banks and also the federal branches of the foreign banks. Catherine Kirkpatrick Baus, general counsel at the ZK Rollup developer Starkware, said, the letter signals a shift in the OCC's approach, which now appears to favor focus on integrating crypto within the banking frameworks. Quoting her here, more guidance will give further clarity and will allow the banks to re-enter the crypto without the fear of existential regulatory risk. She also added that the OCC's explicit permission today allowing banks to outsource bank permissible crypto assets is a boon to regulated crypto native service providers. You're damn right. This is a big deal. We've been waiting on this for a while. Chief Policy Officer at the crypto exchange Coinbase shared and applauded the move that regulatory clarity as well as the adherence of supervisory best practices and the letter of the law. The Trump administration has taken a friendlier attitude towards crypto since coming into power in January. That's right. The entire Trump administration is pro-Bitcoin. And in April, the U.S. Fed announced it was withdrawing a guidance that was created to deter the banks from engaging in crypto and stablecoin activities. Meanwhile, U.S. President Trump also signed a joint congressional resolution April 11th, overturning the Biden administration era rule that would have required decentralized finance protocols to report transactions to the IRS. So ultimately, in a nutshell, the war on crypto is finito. Game on. Now the United States is stacking bitty. States are stacking bitty. Countries around the world, game theory, stacking the bitty. Sovereign wealth funds, stacking the bitty. Pensions funds, retirement funds, corporations, institutions, anyone looking to 100x the rocket to the moon through the firmament is going to be stacking the Bitcoin. I dare say, Michael Saylor, quoting him, he says Bitcoin's going to do another 1,000x. Who's coming along on the ride? If you're one of them, let me know. And again, welcome everyone joining us. Happy Mama's Day. Happy Mama's Day in advance. I believe it's this Sunday, the big day for the ladies. All right, without further ado, here's the latest from Your Holiness, the one and only Max Keiser. He says Bitcoin price will soar to 500,000 in a jiffy. And let's break it down. Here's the latest from the high priest himself. That's right. Let's start with his tweets. Nature hates a vacuum, and so does money. The vacuum from 98,000 to 500,000 is gaining suction. Like a pneumatic tube, Bitcoin price will whisk away to that price in a jiffy. Can I get an amen? Let me know if you agree or disagree with your holiness, Max Keiser. He also points out something I find fascinating, and I always quote this. Everything goes to zero against Bitcoin. Here's an example of Ethereum. The first time Bitcoin hit 100,000, Ethereum was at 4,000. Second time Bitcoin hit 100,000, Ethereum was 3,900. Third time Bitcoin hit 100,000, Ether 3,700. Fourth time Bitcoin hit 100,000, ETH was 3,400. Fifth time Bitcoin hit 100,000, ETH is at 3,000. The sixth time Bitcoin hits 100,000, ETH is at 2,700. Let me know if you recognize any type of pattern going on here. And some other recent quotes from Max Keiser, which I'm happy to share with you. There's one here I had loaded up. If he understood Bitcoin, he'd understand the futility of this advice, and he's referencing Trump when he spoke earlier. Trump said, quoting him here, "You better go out and buy stocks now." And Max is ultimately saying that's awful, dreaded advice. I mean, if you're smart, you just go buy the Bitcoin. And I couldn't agree more with the high priest right there. Shout out Max Keiser. I had the privilege of hanging out with him earlier in the year in Bitcoin country, and I'm looking forward to his next event, which is the Max and Stacy Invitational, which will take place in January of 2026. Tickets are now officially on sale as of May 1st, and I will be there. So if you want to meet myself and a lot of other of our fam who are going to be there alongside Max and Stacy and the Bitcoin OGs, I encourage you to cop your ticket as soon as possible. But I digress. Max Keiser, the former financial journalist and also host of the Keiser Report, who has been responsible between him and Stacy for orange pilling millions of Bitcoiners around the world. Keiser expects Bitcoin to skyrocket roughly 410%. Can we get a 420? From the current level. What is more, he expects it to happen quite fast, hence in a jiffy. That's right. Max addressed the crypto community with a prediction of immense Bitcoin price growth that he expects to take place in the near future. Keiser believes that money reacts to vacuum in the same way nature does. They both hate it. Nature hates vacuum, and so does money. Therefore, the Bitcoin OG reckons the pretty little bitty price will skyrocket from the 98,000 target, which, ironic enough, yesterday Bitcoin was 98,000, and today we're already approaching 103. So we are heading towards his 500,000 target in a jiffy. I can't wait. I'm also going to pull up some recent tweets from Max, because I love following Max. Make sure you guys are following him on X. There's a photo with him, Stacy, Sailor, and Bukele. I mean, legends. These are the OGs of the OGs, if you know what I'm saying. So yeah, let's check out some recent tweets from the Max Keiser. Stop begging makes you look cheap, referring to Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent, who wrote, "For stablecoins and other digital assets to thrive globally, the world needs American leadership. The Senate missed an opportunity to provide the leadership today by failing to advance the Genius Act. This bill represents a once-in-a-generation opportunity to expand dollar dominance in the U.S. influence in financial innovation. Without it, stablecoins will be subject to a patchwork of state regulations instead of a streamlined federal framework that is more conducive to growth and competitiveness. The world is watching while American lawmakers twiddle their thumbs. Twiddle me this, twiddle me that. Senators who voted to stonewall the U.S. ingenuity today face a simpler choice: either set up or lead or watch the digital asset innovation move offshore." And again, Max Keiser ultimately said, "Stop begging it, making you look cheap," to Scott. And you gotta respect Max. You know what I mean? Mad respect. And as shared here, the Bitcoin Magazine team accomplished the impossible. Ross was pulled from the deepest pit of hell and resurrected by the supreme act of the Bitcoin love. That's right, the man, Ross Ulbricht, the myth, the legend. He was serving 2 life sentences for ultimately founding Silk Road, which was the first decentralized marketplace, and he was targeted via lawfare. And guess what? He got pardoned by Trump. Trump stood to his word. He said he would pardon Ross. And guess what? As of today, Ross is a free man. That's right. He got, I think, freed or pardoned the day after the Trump inauguration. So mad respect to Trump for following through on his word. And for those of you who are going to be in Vegas, this is going to be Ross Ulbricht, the man, the myth, the legend, his first appearance speaking since the unlawful arrest and serving like 11 years in prison, which is mind-boggling to say the least. Especially considering earlier I mentioned Alex Mashinsky, the founder of Celsius, just got a 12-year prison sentence, and he was a real fraudster, $6 billion fraud, Celsius, a big Ponzi scheme. And so Ross had a way worse sentence, and Ross didn't really even do nothing to begin with. They just try to make an example out of him. It just goes to show you the way the world is. It's sickening. But anyways, shout out Max. Make sure you're following him on X. Stacey Herbert. Shout out Bukele and the rest of the Biddy fam as we continue to pump it up.